You know, usually I would make time for intro lore, but we genuinely don't have time. This build is whack. Today we're going to be breaking down the Ghostlance. And if that sounds metal, it's cause it is. Let's go. Reminder! All of my patrons get videos 24 hours early, so if you would like to be part of that illustrious crew, be sure to check it out. As well as you'll get access to the full character sheet on D&D Beyond, as well as access to the little Hero Forge link of the little character that I'm going to be showing throughout this. So, yeah, be sure to go and do that. Back to the video. I've used this fellow before, but I think he fits quite well for this, in this video too. Today, we're going to be talking about the Ghostlance. Full disclaimer, I did not design this build. This build is not one of Offbeat Outlaw make, though the level 20 variant is something that I came up with from help with a good friend of mine, Brooklyn Tuesday. Please be sure to check them out on YouTube. But this build's original design was first showed to me in a video by Pack Tactics. Check out their video breakdown of the Ghostlance. It is awesome. Build's original creator is from a website called Tabletop Builds, specifically an individual known as Lilith of the Night. It is an excellent build. It is so fun to play, and I just want to quickly shout out their site, tabletopbuilds.com. Check it out for some really great builds. The link to the Ghostlance build is in the description. Anyway, let's talk about this quickly, because holy crap is this thing weird. The basic premise of the build is as follows. You are an Echo Knight level 3, and then 2 levels of some variety of Warlock. For the purposes of this video, we're going to be a Genie Warlock, for reasons that'll make more sense later. How this build works is as follows. First, you set up your Echo 30 feet away from you using your bonus action. Echoes on Echo Knights have some very specific properties. Let's get into them. Here is the chunk on Echo Knights, and oh my god, is it a lot. You can manifest an Echo into an unoccupied space you can see within 15 feet of you. The Echo lasts until it is destroyed. You dismiss it as a bonus action, you manifest another Echo, or until you're incapacitated. Your Echo has an AC of 20, at least that's what it currently is. It is your 14 plus your proficiency bonus. 1 hit point and immunity to all conditions. If it has to make a saving throw, it uses your bonuses for the roll. It is your size and occupies its space. If your Echo is ever more than 30 feet from you at the end of your turn, it is destroyed. You can use the Echo in the following ways. Mentally command the Echo to move up to 30 feet, in any direction. That does mean in the air, by the way. You can send it straight up. When you take the attack action, any attack you make can originate from your or the Echo space. You make this choice with each attack. As a bonus action, you can teleport, magically swapping places with your Echo at the cost of 15 feet of your movement, regardless of the distance between the two of you. When a creature you can see within 15 feet of your Echo moves at least 15 feet away from it, you can use your reaction to make an opportunity attack as if you were in the Echo's space. This is the key thing we are going to be relying upon throughout this video. You are a variant human, and you have taken Warcaster as your starting feat. This means the following. And you can use your reaction to make an opportunity attack to cast a spell that has a casting time of 1 action and targets only that creature. So, if an opportunity attack is triggered, you may instead cast a spell, so long as that spell only targets that creature. Eldritch Blast is covered for this. Our invocations are the following. I have a bunch more at this point, because I'm showing you the level 20 character sheet. But basically, at the level we're first analyzing, level 5, just to kind of show you what the mechanics look like, you're only going to have Agonizing Blast and Repelling Blast. Oh boy, is this crazy. You may be thinking, why is this insane? Well, what this means is you can essentially do the following. This is you. This is an Echo. Your Echo is specifically not a creature. What it is up for debate, but at the very least, this is what it can do. It has immunity to all conditions. You set up your Echo 30 feet away from you during your turn. This sets up sort of like a drone with an area of effect of roughly a 15-foot square. A melee enemy enters onto the field. They approach you. As they approach you, they first have to approach through the range of your Echo, or risk letting you take another turn. As they enter the range of your Echo, an interesting conundrum is set up for the Dungeon Master. Do you attack the Echo, effectively wasting your action to hit something that is borderline useless otherwise, or do they risk the opportunity attack? We'll cover both scenarios. If they risk the opportunity attack, well, you get to cast Eldritch Blast. At level 5, you have 2 beams per casting, meaning that you can potentially blast them away up to 20 feet. Pushing them back behind the range of the Echo once again, forcing them to reset up the conundrum. Option 2, they attack the Echo. wasting their time. At level 5, the Echo will have an armor class of 17. They will most likely hit it with at least one of their usually 2 attacks, destroy the Echo, and now will be within rear range once again. And as they move forward to you, you do the following. You now cast Eldritch Blast. While you are making these attacks at disadvantage, there is a good chance at least one of the attacks is going to hit, pushing them back 10 feet, taking away the chance for an opportunity attack. Now you may use your movement to move back, once again facing the conundrum that they found themselves in prior. Either they destroy the Echo, waste their action, move forward and do nothing, and potentially risk you blasting them back and resetting the scenario, or they risk the reaction opportunity attack Eldritch Blast, once again resetting the scenario. If this sounds like a lose-lose situation, it's because it is. This build is genuinely hilarious, and it's such a low level too. You can get all of this ready by level 5. That is such a despicably low level to have such an effective melee counter build. That's not all. You see, the important factors of this build is a few things. First of all, you are utilizing your action and your reaction to do damage. Not to mention the fact you do have Action Surge, allowing you to potentially get your damage even higher, as well as a bunch of concentration-based spells like Hex. This build has a ton of excellent uses. I was just grabbing my tea. Fitting this on a team with a bunch of other full casters, as well as some more ranged marshals, you will be an effective team, incredibly good at keeping your opponents away from you, and as well as defending the rest of your frontliner cast. Defending your team as almost a premier frontliner with this build. But this is all at level 5. At level 5, using your reaction in this manner is, well, frankly, worthwhile, almost always. At higher levels though, your reaction takes on a slightly different purpose, and that is part of why I wanted to make this video today. I wanted to showcase how to make this build still effective at incredibly high levels. It's not exactly difficult to do, but it does take a little bit of know-how, so let's get into it. At high level, you are going to be a 17 level warlock and a 3 level fighter. We didn't really take many more fighter levels after that initial bump. Reason why we started as a fighter in this case is so that we could have proficiency in constitution saving throws from the get-go, strength saves, and wisdom saving throws taken from the resilient feat. We also have a relatively high constitution plus the tough feat, giving us 207 maximum hit points. This is going to be useful for what we're going to be talking about very shortly. Your main modes of attack are Eldritch Blast. We are Genie Warlock with Pact of the Tome for some utility abilities as well as ritual casting spells. Though, frankly, any Pact is worthwhile except for, I would say, Pact of the Blade, specifically because you don't want to be really using that too much. But Pact of the Chain does have its uses as well as Pact of the Tome. This is not actually true polymorph. As a Genie Warlock, we get access to the spell Wish for our 9th level Mystic Arcanum. D&D Beyond is just kind of buggy. D&D Beyond, please fix this, okay? I just want to have Wish in my character sheet, okay? Love you. But yes, we have Wish as our 9th level spell. And what will we be using this Wish for? Wish is a very powerful spell. Some would say, oh, Wish just defeats the purpose of the game. To that I say, no, it doesn't. The worst use of your Wish, frankly, is using it to do some game-breaking bullshit. The real purpose of Wish is to give you access to any spell of 8th level or lower without the costly components or casting times. That is the purpose of Wish, and it is a very good use of Wish. Think about it like this. Either you can cast an infinite number of wishes that are slightly lower value, or you can cast effectively 2 to 3 wishes that has a really, really good use. Infinite use versus once or twice? At some point, you gotta go with the infinite. That's all I'm saying. The way that I see you using this wish every single day is to cast Simulacrum. Why? Because it's too good. Having another version of you that you can control on the battlefield is simply too powerful. And due to the fact that we have a rather solid constitution modifier with the tough feat, our Simulacrum is not actually going to be that easy to remove. They're going to have effectively 103 hit points, which is more health than some casters if I'm being entirely honest. So you have your Simulacrum on the field. What else do you have? Well, in your Tome of Secrets, you have a Find Familiar. The reason why we have Find Familiars are excellent roleplay tools, as well as in combat we have the absolutely hilarious ability to plane shift people at a distance. Now, I'm gonna be honest, this is a very niche use, though it is a use, so take with it what you will. Basically, you cast plane shift, have your familiar deliver it as a reaction to a target, and boop, they are now in hell. Isn't that great? We have mass suggestion, though we're not going to be using that too often. And we have a bunch of spells that we can potentially use. Hold monsters, sickening radiance, banishment, spike growth. Today we are going to be talking about spike growth and sickening radiance and how well they combo together. Just to set up the battle map for you, this is what it looks like. We have your Simulacrum, both of your echoes, both of your familiars. That is effectively 6 people for the price of 1. That's really good. The amount of battlefield control this offers is insane. And when I mention the next thing, you are going to see how devious using your wish on Simulacrum really is. You see, the Genie Warlock gets another crazy feature, and that is the insane feature, Limited Wish. As an action, speak your desire to your Genie Vessel, requesting the effect of one spell that is 6th level or lower and has a casting time of 1 action. The Limited Wish feature grants you access to a bunch of spells that you potentially won't have access to. This feature is so complicated, we're gonna have to look into it more. Holy shit. We'd have to look into it more before we consider it, but just realize it's an option. If you don't have a spell of 5th level or lower, Limited Wish has got your back. Hey, so after I was done recording that video, I went and I considered what else you can do with the Limited Wish feature, and I realized I completely forgot to mention one of the best parts about using Limited Wish with your Simulacrum. Limited Wish usually has a feature, you can't use it again for 1d4 plus 1 days. However, if your Simulacrum does it, well, they're the ones who can't use it. So as long as you yourself never use your Limited Wish feature and exclusively make your Simulacrum use it, you can continue to use your Limited Wish feature every single day. And so I went and I brainstormed with one of my friends what exactly you could do with this Limited Wish feature, and here's something that we thought of, in particular in combination with the Ghostlancing. Animate objects. If reaction-based opportunity attacks is your thing, nothing gets more opportunity attacks than a bunch of tiny objects. Anti-life shell. Now they can't even approach you. They have to attack from a range. Globe of invulnerability, meaning all spells of 5th level or lower can't affect you. What are they gonna do? They'll have to waste their time now. Disintegrate. That's pretty funny. And all of these just for fun, frankly. You can just do this every single day now. You have the entire spell list of 5th level or lower that you get access to once a day, which is amazing. I mean, you get that anyway with your wish, and that's any spell of any choice. It doesn't have that caveat of requiring only 1 action casting time. It's still really good, though. Anyway, completely realized I forgot to talk about that in the video. Have fun, I guess. Let's talk about spike growth and sickening radiance. Spike growth affects an area in a 20-foot radius circle. Yes, that is a circle, not a square. If you want proof as to why that this is a circle in D&D, head to page 86 of Xanathar's Guide to Everything. You will find your answers there. Anyway, with this circle, we can now set up an area that for every 5 feet of movement, the opponents will take 2d4 damage. Additionally, going across this area is considered difficult terrain, meaning that getting through this spike growth area is even more difficult. Additionally, on top of that, because there is 2 of us, we can now have someone else cast a different spell. For instance, Wall of Force to funnel people through the spike growth, or Sickening Radiance to make the spike growth even more painful. It's worth noting as well that we have several really good at this point invocations. We have Lance of Lethargy, Grasp of Hadar, and Repelling Blast at this point. We also have Armor of Shadows to increase our AC, Book of Ancient Secrets for more ritual spells, and Far Scribe to potentially be able to message people when we need it. Meaning that we can now push and pull people into the areas that we desire with our Eldritch Blasts. We are now also casting 4 beams per Eldritch Blast. Grasp of Hadar can only pull people towards you 10 feet at a time once on each of your turns. Lance of Lethargy can reduce someone's movement by 10 feet once on each of your turns. Repelling Blast can push them away as many times as you hit them. weird little combo spells, isn't it? With this unique little combo, our little spike growths are now way more deadly. If people do manage to get through the spike growths via teleportation or whatnot, we can now push them through the spike growths, cheese gratering them across the surface. Horrifying. Additionally, we could reduce their movement by 10 feet. For each of us, our Simulacrum can do that too, potentially reducing most creatures' movement to only 10 feet. That is terrible. So now, how do I see this build playing out? Well, for one, do you see how effective control builds are? This is also a very easy thing to set up. So what is the most effective use of this? Well, bottlenecks. Set up big old bottlenecks. And how do you do that? Well, basically, you set up deterrents. Use spike growth to set up 2 areas of, well, spikes. You and your Simulacrum just kind of cower behind it. You and your Simulacrum are here. Your echoes are here. Here is the channel that your opponents must now walk through. They could go around it, but then they are wasting their time giving you the chance to reposition yourselves, while you simply do more damage and cackle with your Simulacrum best friend along the way. They could walk through the spike growth, but then they are forcing themselves to walk through difficult terrain while taking more and more damage. The only options they have left are flying through it or teleporting. Once again, teleporting still suffers from the chance of being blasted through the spike growths. Flight is really, at this point, the only safe option. To which I know the comment section is already saying, well, if there's a counter, what's the point? You are forcing your opponents to have to fly. Something that not everyone has access to, even at high level. And in a team, there are many ways to get flying things out of the air. If you reduce that creature's movement speed to 0, they are done. If you have even one more Warlock with Lance of Lethargy, and that thing only has a flying speed of 30 feet, you can knock that thing out of the sky if it doesn't have a hover speed. If someone's flight speed is reduced to 0, they fall if they don't have a hover speed. That's one of the few flight rules we have in this damn game. And with this bottleneck, as they approach, the usual rules of the Ghostlancing still apply. Walk through the bottleneck, provoke an opportunity attack from the Echo Knight, get blasted back. Except this time it's even more potent, because there's 2 of you. You now each shoot 4 beams with an Eldritch Blast, potentially blasting them away up to 80 feet. That is very far. Not to mention the fact that on your turns, you are still have Action Surge and Eldritch Blast. You can alone push them away 80 feet. In combo of your Simulacrum, you can push them away up to 130 feet. And the reason why it's only 130 is because you don't have Eldritch Spear as an invocation giving you extra range. You can knock someone off of my damn battle map with this build. That's gotta be annoying. And this is only one of the strategies. You can create another strategy by forcing a bottleneck with Wall of Force, forcing your opponents to have to walk through the spike growth. You could potentially set up a spike growth and Sickening Radiance and have you and your Simulacrum on opposite sides of each other, forcing the enemies to have to decide on which way they're gonna get out in order to get to the 2 bastards, blasting them through the spike growth all the time. There are so many options with this Ghostlancing build. But we should talk about what high-level D&D consists of, because I do think it's worth mentioning. Reactions become near invaluable at high level. They usually take the place of some form of defensive tool, whether that be Shield in the case of wizards, Absorb Elements, or Cloud Rune in the case of fighters, Cloud Rune being one of the best defensive abilities in the game. If you are using your reaction to cast Eldritch Blast, it better be for a good reason. Keeping them away is a good reason. And if that is the only way for the opponent to do damage, it is. However, if they have other options, like a lot of creatures do at high level, whether that be breath weapons, massive spell effects, or whatnot, you need to be doing a bit more damage to keep the threat level up on your Dungeon Master. That is why I would suggest having, well, 2 of you, having a Simulacrum, so that when they provoke that opportunity at that reaction, it's way more threatening. You push them back a potential 80 feet, dealing a lot more damage. They get ground across the spike growth, dealing a lot more damage. I've just shown you one orientation of the spike growths. There is a bunch of other ones you could do too, making an extra long spike growth for even more cheese grater damage. The point that I'm trying to make here is that this build is potent because of how it controls the way your Dungeon Master has to play. They not only have to think about what the character would do, but how do you avoid this catch-22 of either taking an opportunity attack and being blasted all over the battlefield, or taking out the echo and wasting your action. This video has been going on for a while, and I've probably not even covered half the things that you can do with this build. I encourage all of you to check out Tabletop Builds' breakdown, link in the description. It is insightful, it is great. I am making this video to not only bring awareness to this incredible website, but also just to show you what I've come up with. I encourage you all to play around with this thing. It's taken me so long to formulate my thoughts on this build, and I don't even think I did it right. That is how potent this build is in practice. So please, I encourage you, try out this build for yourself and have an absolute blast. So that is all for today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm trying to include more miniatures and stuff in my videos to, you know, help increase the production value and potentially help explain what I'm doing and what it actually looks like in D&D, because I feel like my videos can sometimes get a little high concept, if that makes sense. So I'm trying to help with that. I hope that this made it look better. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Please remember to check out Tabletop Builds and Pack Tactics' breakdowns respectively. Check out my Patreon to support me in making more videos like this and to get all my content 24 hours early. Get the fuck out of my house.